Hi everybody, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. So today I'm going to kind of finish up Sale-A-Bration for you. There's a couple more days left, but if you are thinking about doing any of the parts of Sale-A-Bration, my recommendation to you is to not wait till the last minute, partly because when everybody waits till the last minute, we know what technology can do to us. Let's see if I can get that a little bit. I'm sitting a little crooked, I think. And because the last day of February happens to be on a weekend, the last days of the month tend to be on weekends a lot, I think. But it also means that sometimes because the Stampin' Up! Staff isn't there, if something goes wrong, then that can lead to some disappointment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over the different things of Sale-A-Bration. I'm going to show you some of the favorite things that I have made during the past January and February, and a couple that I made in December. I didn't make so many because I got sick. And just remind you of everything so you don't miss it. And tell you I have one more drawing. I'm going to do a drawing from anybody that places an order from today, from the day this video posts. I think it's the 21st. I should have looked to see what the date is, through the 28th. But again, if you wait till the last minute and it doesn't go through, then you can't tell me, well, I tried to on the 28th and it was all busy and I couldn't get my order to go through. So I would wait. If you're going to place an order, do it on the 27th. So here's the Sale-A-Bration flyer. Now, if you never got this, then just go to my website, and it's Cheri, and my name's spelt weird. Thanks, Mom. It's cheri.stampinup.net. And then up in the top left-hand corner, if you're on a desktop, it will say sales and specials, I think is what it says. And when you click the little drop down, then it says Sale-A-Bration, and that pops up everything that is in this catalog. So that way you'll be able to see it. Now, the things that don't pop up are the things we'll talk about first. So we'll talk about the joining special, because that's my very favorite one. Because if you do this, then you can be part of my team. So if you've gotten this video from my email, then that will have the link. If you have gotten it, if you're just watching it on YouTube or Facebook, then you can follow back to the link. So I'll tell you just a tad bit about my story, as some of you have been with me all 25 years, and some of you may have just stumbled across my videos recently. So I have been with Stampin' Up! For 25 years. I started stamping probably about 28 years ago when my husband and I lived in Australia. He is Australian, and that's where we were living at the time. And a girlfriend of mine taught me how to stamp. And there was a tiny little gift shop there that sold personal stamp exchange stamps. And that was one of the big companies at the time. And she taught classes there, and she was going to be moving back to the States. So she asked if I wanted to teach classes. So it was kind of born from that. I had gold embossing powder. I had 2 watercolor pencils. I didn't know that there was lots of stuff that you can own. And back then there wasn't nearly the amount of stuff that there is now that you can own. My daughter had just been born. Well, actually, she wasn't born when I started, because I did make her birth announcements with the few stamps. Everything I owned fit in a shoebox. When we moved back to the U.S., if we moved countries now, I wouldn't be able to take everything and move it to another country. But back then, it all just fit in its nice little shoebox. And so I just assumed my daughter was little when we moved back to the United States that there would be more stamp stuff. I thought like Michael's and Joann's and all the places would have stamp stuff, and they didn't. But my aunt invited me. She knew I did it because Christmas cards, and she invited me to a Stampin' Up! Workshop at my grandma's house. My grandma hosted it, and so I went. I didn't buy anything because I thought I can do this. So I didn't buy anything from the girl because I knew that the starter kit would be a better deal. Back then, you didn't get to pick what was in the starter kit, because the internet didn't exist. We called our orders in. So you waited a long time, and it was very expensive, about 3 times more than what it costs now. But I was so excited. So when I first started, I had a baby. So I have done this full time with a baby. I've done it full time with elementary school kids. I've done it full time while I watched other children. And then when my daughter was about junior high-ish, about 8th, 9th grade, she was an athlete in every sport, but she also played a lot of golf. And so for me to be a golf mom, I needed my hours back. So I made the decision with my family for me to go back to work full time, and my Stampin' Up! Business became a side gig. So from the time, and I thought when she graduated from high school, I would swap back again. And it was just about the time that people were going online and taking their little, putting a Stampin' Up! Website on. It was about the same time that Stampin' Up! Was putting their stuff online. But I was kind of out of it. I had my customers, I had my loyal group of demonstrators, some who are still, a lot who are still with me. But I was a golf mom and I worked full time. So I did a camp where people came to my house once a month. I made projects. I often didn't know what was going on in the stamp world because I was a golf mom and all the other kind of stuff, when you have teenagers that accompanies that. So I did that and I did this part-time. I stayed active and it kind of paid for golf clubs and golf lessons and golf shirts and golf shoes and all the things. Well, my other job replaced that income. But then my daughter became a college golfer. So my work career extended longer than I intended. And then this money paid for going to watch her golf tournaments when we had to pay for hotels and be gone for a week to watch her play. So I have done it all. And then as she entered her 5th year of college, I started to transition back to doing this full time and I left my job. And so it took about 2.5 years for me to really start to replace that full-time income again. So I say all that to say, if you have a baby at home, I've done it. If you have 3 elementary school kids at home, I've done it. If you want to do this full time, doing it. If you want to just stay active, done it. Because I have done it for so long and done it in every kind of way. A lot of Stampin' Up! People have done the same thing throughout their entire time with Stampin' Up! Not me. I tried it all. And my daughter is now also a demonstrator. She's 26. And she's also a demonstrator. So I never did young and single and did it, but she's doing that. So we can always ask her for her advice if you're young and single and doing that. Of course, now the whole world's different with the internet. So right now, if you would like to join my team, I would love to help you. I'd love to help you figure out if you just want to do it for the discount. You get about 20% off right off the bat, everything you order. And you can work it all the way up to about 35%. They give us free things, free product. There's ways to earn free product. You get to get stuff ahead of time. We have a fun Facebook group worldwide. Then I have a Facebook group for my girls in my team. And I think the biggest perk for being on my team, for the people who choose to join up under me, you have to be in the US, but you get to do all of my online classes for free. So if you find that you are often do my classes, then and you would like to save money on those, then if you're part of my team, all of the video portions of them are free. The only classes that I send you product for, you do get those 3 times a year. You get the try it classes, and I do send you the product for that. The rest of the time, because you get a discount on your own stuff, and you can just buy it, and you always have the videos always there, always accessed, and they're housed inside my Facebook group, so you can always find those in there. And then I give fun. We have lots of contests and prizes and swaps and sharing and Zoom times. So we have a really good time, and we have several new girls who have just joined us recently, and we have girls who have done it for as long as me. We have somebody that just hit their 400,000 in sales, and we have people who haven't even hit their first 400. So we have the whole span of people who've done it, and so I'd love to have you do it. It costs $99, and right now, no shipping, so free shipping. You pick $125 of whatever you want, and then they give you 200 sheets of the Designer Series paper. And it's these papers that I did do a Facebook Live. And then this is the punch set. I think it's punch. I'll look at the name of it, Punch Art. I never got around to doing a YouTube video. I did do a Facebook Live with it. It's a sweet little set. This is the one that I'm going to be giving away. So if you didn't get that, you can still get it with a $300 order, or you can put some orders together with your friends. And then that's the paper. So you get all of that paper. But I will put the link down. You just have your order ready. Pick your $125. You can't go over. Has to just be $124.50, but it can't be $125.01 because the computer doesn't like that. So just pick $125 or as close to as you get. Write it in a little list. Then you click through this stuff and then you just type in those numbers and you make your own starter kit. Unlike when I did it and you got a creepy clown stamp. It wasn't even a choice. I had to take the creepy clown. So you get a pick. And then you get all this fabulous paper. And this paper is a color stack of all 4 color families, the current in colors, and it will be in the new catalog so you can use that. So then the set that I'm giving away, what's it called? Punch Party. I think that's what I said. So it's this set here, and that is free if you place a $300 order or if you collect $300 of orders in a workshop. So let's look at some of the stuff that I've done. I realized I don't know, my studio is kind of a mess. And as much as I don't want Sale-A-Bration to be over, every time there's a new catalog or something ends, then I feel like, oh, I can get rid of all this stuff and move it. And somebody asked me, I've had actually a couple of people ask me recently, like, oh, are you going to mail that card out when they see me make them? And I do mail my cards out. So I mail my cards out as thank yous because I end up with 2 or 3 of everything that I do because I make one and then I film it. Sometimes I film 2. So all those extras get sent out as thank yous. So sometimes they're a little farther behind, but I'm using them up a lot quicker these days. So if you order from me, at some point you may get something you've seen. So this is the ombre paper. So all of these have a tutorial up. And a lot of this stuff, I'm like, oh, I use the ombre on that. And then I realized it's in one of my classes. And I don't show my class videos any place except for in the class. So if you took the class, I think we used that maybe in the kangaroo. We used it a couple of places. This is a touch of ink. Those ladies that are coming to my house for camp this week, this is a camp project. All of the projects, camp was already supposed to have happened, but it snowed. So we had to move camp. That hadn't happened for a couple of years. All of our camp projects this week will all be Sale-A-Bration based. So they'll have one day, and then I will be the one putting orders in on the last day of the month. Both of those are a touch of ink. It's free with a $100 order. And then our other one that's free with the $100 order is the berries. And it is a stamp set and paper combination. So it's really pretty. It goes with the strawberry set that is in the January to June catalog. So here it is coupled with the chicks. Super cute. The paper's just adorable. The stamp set's cute too, but I'm in love with that paper. And then this one is actually in a class, but I've already shown it, so I'm going to show it again. I'm not going to open the card, but this was part of our Try It class earlier this year. That's one of the free classes that if you're on my team, you get all this stuff for free. Here's the berry stamps, but not with the berry paper. And I do have currently a $35 class that includes the stamps and a nice selection of the paper. It's $35. You get all of that. It includes the shipping and your card supplies for 3 cards. This is a corner bouquet, so you can go to my class page if you're interested in taking that class. It's while supplies last because I only have a few of those stamp sets left. This is a really pretty one, and this is the only card I got to make. Sale-A-Bration's really rough because to get all of that stuff made in the short amount of time that we have, it used to be 3 months and they've cut it down to 2. Here's the donkeys. The donkeys are my favorite stamp set. The Flower and Field is my favorite paper. It's coming. So this combines the donkeys and the Flower and Field paper. It also includes a really cool die that's part of my upcoming spring retreat. And the information for that will post next week. If you're on my team, though, you get the spring retreat videos for free. And there's the donkey. This may have been, I started to say it was the first Sale-A-Bration card I made, but it's not. That's not true. I made one before that, but I don't even think it's laying here. I may have sent all of those out. So here's the Flower and Field paper. And this also has the Approaching Perfection, which is a birthday sentiment stamp. Oh, I know. The one that's missing is the sympathy words. I don't remember what they're called, but those are on my shell card. I've used them a couple of times. Oh, I think we use all Sale-A-Bration words in my Try It class. That may have been a Try It Club card. I don't know. No, I don't think so. It's been a long time and I had COVID. So I blame it all on that. I'm ready for spring, ready for that to go on. Here's the flower and field paper again. The tutorial that we'll post next, I have used this pearlized paper again. Oh, I love that stuff. And here's the flower and field with the chicks. So that's what I have. If you have any questions about Sale-A-Bration, I don't want you to miss an order. It's a great time to stock up on refills, on cutting pads, on basic white cardstock, on just the things that we don't like to buy. Cleaners, on Stamp-A-Ratus paper, all that kind of stuff, and then get something free that's fun with it. If you have any questions on joining my team, ask. And again, please ask. Friday, I do have camp, so I will be here, but I will be busy. And then Saturday, you know, I have a life. I do try to take my weekends off. So I will be in and about, but I will be at the grocery and I will be doing errands. So if you have questions about joining my team, please try to ask me before the weekend, partly because if I have a question and I need to get an answer, then I'll be able to get that for you before it's crunch time. So everybody have a great day. Thanks for watching my channel. Thanks for being part of my Stampin' Up! Journey. And everybody have a nice evening.